Hey, friends, I'm your host, Dr. Elizabeth Smana, the intuitive psychiatrist, and you're listening to Stepping into Soul Power. Friends, we are in the midst of our soul led series, really getting into that personal journey, the before, the struggle, and that turning point when someone really feels that it's time to change and they're ready to be led by soul. Today, we have two wonderful, wonderful guests, Olivier Maxted and Megan Shelby. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much, Elizabeth.
Yes, so I would like to start off by asking, what was life like before you became soul led?
I think you should take this one. I feel like my life's been soul-led from the get-go.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Well, I did follow that, the conventional path of education, and that sets you up for a career. Um, Within that, I was always doing what I wanted to do. I think early on, I kind of realized that there was ways to have a lot of fun. And if I just focused on the things that I really wanted to do, then they would be a lot of fun. So I've always loved traveling. And I realized, hang on, teaching is a really good way to travel because you can take a teaching qualification to whatever country. So I taught in France, in Switzerland, in the UK, and then over to Australia. So I lived in Australia for a long time. And then getting close to 40, it's the classic, like, oh, life begins at 40.
Mhm.
I turned 40 in 2012, which was the end of the world. That's what we were being told. It's like, okay, so 2012 is coming. And I'm thinking something's got to give. I'd been teaching for like 12 years in the same school in Australia, and I was just ready for a change. And it took a lot of courage, to leave the career behind and that stable salary. I was in a marriage that had kind of felt over for a while, but I was staying in it for my stepchildren. There's something else here for me. And so in 2012, yeah, I let go of teaching. I thought I was going to do energy healing one-on-one.
Mm.
So I started down that track. Things were kind of okay, but it wasn't really taking off. And then I went back to the UK to look after my dad, who was having a heart operation. And while I was there, I started going to gong baths, sound baths with gongs, in the local city of Plymouth, with a couple who I found through an internet search for people who do Reiki in the local area.
Mhm.
And they'd heard me play didgeridoo. And they said, will you come to these gong baths and play your didgeridoo? So I did that. And this moment of realization of, instead of doing one-on-one healing, there's 30 people in the room and they're all getting healing from me playing the didgeridoo here.
Wow.
It's like, this is it. This is the rest of my life. This is what I have to do. And I kept doing that in England, went back to Australia. Things took off. Like as soon as I started doing these gong baths, or sound baths with didgeridoos, and yeah, it just all took off. It was really quite incredible. And yeah, it's thanks to that it gave me the courage to continue, that seeing how the universe just supported me. It just gave me everything I needed to keep going and living that life. Yeah, it gave me the courage to say to the woman I was married to, we really have to call it quits now. It's like, I need to get on with this life. This life here is the one that I was born for.
Wow.
And yeah, it's thanks to that courage that I met Megan. And straight away it was like, oh wow, like we have to do all these things together. It was within a year, it was like everything had shifted, and really, really quite remarkable. So, and I'm not going to say it's all been roses since then. It's like I'm on a human journey as
Yeah.
well. There's been difficult times as well. And there's just been this feeling of it's all working out. It's all working out. Anytime something that we've really got focused on, thinking, oh, that's what we need, that's what we want, and then it doesn't work out, there's a moment of like, man, what's going to happen? But then there's this like, now there's this really cool thing showing up that we hadn't even known about before because we were so fixed on thinking it was this direction. Now the universe has said, hey guys, over here is something really awesome, and I want you to have that. So,
That's really helped me with realizing, like, when I feel really tight about something, like I can feel it in my body. And if I feel like really like kind of obsessed with it or something, like it's got to happen this way, and like, oh no, if it doesn't happen, then it's gonna whatever. It's really that having a few experiences like that has allowed me to clock that when it's happening and realize like, oh, okay, this is the moment where the signal is saying, just relax, like just open, and then things can flow so much easier.
I think that there are a lot of people who have that exact path, like are in careers that they don't, they it pays the bills, but there's something within you that gave you the courage to be like, you know what? Enough's enough. And I guess I wonder what exactly do you think that was?
I don't want to die with a song still inside me. There's a song that I'm singing here. It's my life. And I don't want to live a version of my life that I think someone else thinks I should live. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to live my life. Because when I live my life, I'm alive.
Mm,
I feel it every day. It's like, this is the life I'm choosing. It's not like I've chosen, like there's this one moment and like off you go. I'm choosing my life in every moment. So at first it can feel very radical. We're very conditioned in our upbringings, aren't we? It's like, and rightly so, our parents want the best for us. And what they learned was absolutely perfect for their lives, and they want the same for us. They grow us with these loving boundaries of like, like do the right thing. And then we get to a point where we leave home and it's time to fly the nest and be like Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And like his seagull parents wanted him to go and fight for the fish with the other seagulls. And he was like, no way, man. I'm going to go and learn to fly. Like
Go
I've
for
got
the
these,
highest point.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got these wings, man. I'm going to use them. But yeah, I feel that. It's, we can all fly.
yeah.
I would just really like to add in there though, like
Mm.
on the witnessing side, because Olivier thought that maybe he'd go back to teaching,
Mm.
kind of, I don't know, maybe 8, 9 months into our relationship.
Mm.
And he even went out and got a new pair of shoes. And he had a teaching position, and like it was maybe 2 weeks.
Mm.
And it was just like everything inside him was just like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing.
Wow.
So I think it's like also when you start really trusting that inner voice, that inner knowing
Mm.
that really is the loving voice, not the conditioned voices of people kind of who have told you what to do in the past, but like when you can really hear like a impulse from yourself, then it's almost like creates like a barrier to allow anything that doesn't feel okay. It's like it kind of bounces off. It's like it just can't. It's like there's no way through. It's like, you turn up to a place and you want to get inside, but there's like a huge gate in front of it. It's
Yeah.
like I can't get through that, and it's just not worth the energy like trying to like smash it down. Like I'm clearly not meant to be here. And I think that it's a really courageous thing to be in that position, because there's not necessarily like when you look around from that gate in that metaphor, it's like
Mm.
it's not always clear what the path is. Like often it isn't clear. And it's like it's almost like that molten bit, where the caterpillar completely dissolves
Mm.
and there's kind of like a nothing. It's like, what am I? Like, who am I? Like, what
Mm.
is this? I think sometimes like we have to just like let ourselves hang in limbo until like we've reset, and then it's like, okay, 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 I'm coming back to life. I'm growing my wings. Okay, I'm ready. And then the cocoon opens, and then
Mhm.
we're off before we know it. It's like, oh, this is happening. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's like it's allowing yourself to just drop the need for perceived stability and really allow yourself to listen to what's always going to hold you, always going to guide you well. And that's that knowingness that's in all of us. Like there's not one of us that doesn't have that.
Even the word courage itself, it comes from the word cœur.
Heart.
Yes. Ugh.
Yeah.
So, listen to your heart.
Yeah. And it's been such a long time that we've
Mm.
been in our heads, and that's where all the That's where all the can't think of my words. Like, that's where the emphasis has been put. Like, it's good if you're academic and you're intelligent and you plan things out,
Mhm.
and actually we're starting to learn more and more collectively. Actually, the heart is incredibly intelligent
Yes.
and has so much more access to what's really going on. So we're sort of, I feel like we're kind of coming from that, the emphasis on the cognitive, and actually starting to listen to the heart and realizing,
Mm.
oh, there's a pathway here. There's a communication that goes on. And when the heart is leading the mind rather than the mind trying to tell the heart, it completely shifts how we're able to operate in the world.
Good stuff. No, it's great stuff. I think that it is a journey, and it is something where we're always evolving. For this part of your journey, the place where you are now, how has being led that way changed the relationship that you have with yourself?
I think there's just this ultimate, infinite knowing everything is going to be okay, even if it doesn't feel like it is now. Like, it really is always okay. And there's nothing that will threaten that unless I allow that. And I think I probably before, like, back a few years, would probably feel threatened by things that felt scary. And now I'm able to clock that much quicker and go, oh, hang on. It's not that way round. It comes from inside me as to what I see on the outside, not what I'm seeing on the outside telling me what I should feel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And how has being soul led, how has that affected the way that you relate to your family?
So much more joy, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just letting them be who they are. I don't have to fix them or change them. None of that. It's like I revel in being with them, with that connection. Let them be exactly who they are, and I'll be exactly who I am.
Not try and get them to think anything of you that you want them to
Yeah,
think.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, just I'm very fortunate, and my mother was French,
Mhm.
and we'd go to France every summer, and 3 or 4 times every summer, the family would sit down for a meal, and there'd be, like, 30 people or something around the table. One uncle was a fisherman, so he'd bring the fish. Another uncle made ice cream, he'd bring ice cream. I'd go to the market with my grandmother and get all the vegetables. We'd sit down to eat about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. 3 in the morning, everyone's still sitting around the table.
Mhm.
Like, it was all day. Me and my brother go off and play tennis between courses, come back, they're still talking. I don't know what they're talking about. It was this celebration of life, like, we just loved each other. So we shared food and wine and good times. Well, I didn't have wine when I was a kid. Why do they drink that stuff? But like this coming together, this communion, this beautiful celebration of, like, we all love each other. So let's spend time with each other, eating these delicious foods, having a really good time, talking about things that light us up, having fun. That was the central pillar of my family, is those times together.
Mm.
And whenever I think of it, it brings me so much joy. And whenever then I have a simple meal by myself, even, I can feel them. I can feel the love of my family around me still. I feel like it's here with me in my heart now. Time isn't linear. We can bring all of that into every moment, that love and appreciation and joy. So I think that's very much my soul speaking to me, each day is this knowing that we're all sitting around this eternal feast. All of us who love each other, sitting around this eternal feast, celebrating each other, celebrating ourselves.
There's a good point there, I think, as well, that goes beyond the family. That we've become very practiced at thinking of ourselves as just like one person, which
Mm,
we are clearly. But also, when Olivier was speaking, I just had this beautiful sense of, like, you know, with you, Elizabeth, I'm just thinking, like, the feast, having the feast,
mm,
like we're feasting with you right now. And like, we have these connections that we don't think about necessarily when we're not with those people. But again, coming back to the heart, like the heart is never separated Like the
Mm.
heart's knows all the love it's ever known, and it doesn't stop just because we're not with those people.
Yes.
So I think, especially in difficult, when we have difficult relationships with certain members of our family, or we find it difficult to be with our families in any way, if we can kind of take time for ourselves and remember that there's an infinite well in our hearts that connects us to all that feeds us, then that allows us to embrace more our families, because we're able to feel for the love that's there rather than so much of the difficulties. And it just allows it to kind of soften and open a little bit more and a little bit more. And maybe we're not, maybe there's some of us that are never supposed to have perfect what we consider like perfect relationships with our families,
Mm.
but we can certainly bring more love. When we draw on that within ourselves, it has profound effects on those around us.
Yeah, that resonates so much. I think that when I think of being soul-led, I know that for me, it has changed the way that I look at myself and my family, and it's exactly what you said. It just there is an allowing of them to be who they are,
Yeah.
and going with an open heart and a willingness to understand. I wonder about how it has transformed how you are in the community at large.
That's a really interesting one.
Mm. I think more and more myself,
Yeah, that's
just
what I feel.
showing up as me, not trying to play a role. I know when I was a teacher, I was like, I'm a teacher. There's things that I can do that are aligned with that, and there's things that I definitely won't do. And it's great to let go of all of that stuff and just know, well, I'm me. And actually, coming back to what Megan's saying, everything that we perceive, everything that we experience is us. Yeah, at a quantum level, there is no outside world. There is nothing separate from us. Everything that we see is an extension of us. So if we show up as ourselves in this experience that we're having, then beautiful things happen. Amazing things happen because who we are is love. We are unconditional love. So when we drop all of the stuff, all of the conditions or the filters or whatever you want to call it, beliefs, then we're allowing ourselves to see ourselves in everything around us so we can receive love back. So I would say that the most noticeable way that I experience this is the number of smiles that I see, or the people who laugh. Even though I might not have a language in common with someone, we smile, we have fun, we laugh at something, like a shared moment where something funny happens and you just catch someone's eye and laugh, and just like, did you see that? Like so much more of that. That is my life experience overwhelmingly, joy and gratitude, joy and gratitude.
I really like that. Allowing yourself to be seen. You're seeing aspects of yourself in other people and everything. It's a very expansive way of looking at the world and being in the world. I have two more questions, but I do want to ask because Olivia, you said that there was this transition point, but Megan, you said that you have always felt like you were soul led. So help me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess if you could speak to that.
yeah. I mean, maybe that was a bit rash to say it like that. I certainly haven't just had like an easy, everything's unfolded so beautifully life, like all the way through. But my mum always used to say that it was like I was all about truth, like right from the beginning. And I think that's what I meant by I've always been soul led. Like I haven't done the normal like kind of finishing school, going on like having a job and having a career and then changing from my career into like a soul led thing. I suppose that's what I was saying. Mainly because, or not mainly, but like what happened for me when I was during like the later part of my education is I was just kind of just started to kind of not operate in the world very well, and I had chronic fatigue for many, many years. So I just wasn't able to do, like, the regular thing of like, I wasn't able to, like, have any sort of like, even just like a fairly kind of like, any kind of job, like, let alone, like, what we might consider a career. Um, And all the way through, like, from when I was very little, I was singing, like, not in the same way necessarily that I did, that I do now, but I was always singing in this expanded state where I would feel highly emotional and highly connected to something, like, exquisitely beautiful, like, angelic. And I've always had that, and it's always guided me. And I was around the age of about 16, 17 when I very clearly remember making a promise to myself that I would absolutely follow my intuition and not get in the messes that something must have happened that week that was just, like, so uncomfortable. I was just like, "It's intuition, like, I commit to it." And I remember several moments during my late teens where I have a very amazing connection with the ocean, like, I grew up by the ocean, and it's like it's my element. And I would go out to the cliffs, and I it was sort of like it was kinda like these milestones that I would just find myself there again, just, like, committing to, I don't know, you could say, like, the path, like, what my heart wants me to do, like, I'm listening, like, what is it that you want me to do? So it's been something that I've always had within me, and I found it very difficult to try and fit in. Like, I don't fit in very well. I feel like I'm a being that, like, is just needs to expand all the time. And it's such an incredible pleasure to be able to do that with Olivier, like, to have found this partnership that this works, like, to be able to live in this way and, like, see that in each other and love that in each other and want that for each other and allow us, both of us, to just keep expanding. Like, there isn't anyone saying you should do this. It's
Mm.
always expansive. So I guess, like, when we met, like, that was a massive turning point for sure. But, like, I've always felt that I've always had to listen to my soul because it just felt so awful not to, like, right from the beginning.
For those people who may have trouble doing that, like, what were the signs? Was there a body sensation? Did something happen? How did you know?
I think a big thing is because I always kind of just, on some level, I always knew that I knew. It's like, that kind of feeling of like, oh, like, I know better. Like, why have I let myself get into this situation? I know better. Like, I think we can probably all relate to that. And there's a kind of know better that's like a sort of a judgment that we might put on ourselves, like a learned judgment. But there's also oh, I should have known better, that I think most of us probably can relate to. And we wouldn't necessarily know that it was kind of what we would call intuition or our soul speaking to us, but we just know on, like, a gut level, like, that. I kind of knew not to go, but I went anyway because I was persuaded or I thought it was a good idea or a good opportunity or whatever. And it's like, okay, I'm going to I think this is what happened for me. I'm going to trust that feeling more than the thinking that I should. So I just started to more and more trust that feeling, and then every time I didn't and I went the other way, it would feel awful again. So it's like, okay, I know this, and I just that kind of sensation and that, I don't know that there's a voice particularly, but the sensation and the signals became clearer and clearer. So it's just, like, obvious to me now. It's just like, that does not feel good, or absolutely yes. Like, it's so clear to me now. And I think it's with everything. Like, when we give the space to um listen for, I don't know why I'm thinking of this example, but, like, if you're learning, like, what birds make different sounds. Like, when you start off, you're probably out there going, I've no idea. Like, they maybe they even all sound the same to you to begin with. And then once you get into it and you're, like, really into it and you're, like, looking on your apps and your books and you're listening to it and, like, oh, that's a whatever, and that's a sparrow, and that's a starling, and you become really fine-tuned to it, and it's exciting. It is exciting. It's
Mm.
exciting when you listen and it really pays off, Like, when you listen and you don't go to that thing that everyone was saying was really great, and you had an awesome time just relaxing at home and just, like, doing whatever you wanted, and everyone else ended up having, like, a really difficult whatever. Like, it's often good to notice, like, what is happening, like, what would have happened and what is actually happening now. But I think that signal inside can feel really faint, and it's like, "Is that? I don't know. Can I trust it?" And I would say just start playing with it. Like just start listening to it, follow it, see what happens. Because it's like a child. The more love you give it, the more it will like really like open and brighten and be really charismatic and playful and confident. And it's the same for us when we listen to that deeper part.
I like that. As we're coming to a close, I do want to ask each of you one question. If you could give other people on this soul-led path just one pearl of wisdom, what would it be?
I think mine's a practical one. I feel like for me, it's give yourself moments regularly where you just kind of take a step back, whether it's a physical step back or just a moment where you just kind of become an observer to everything. So you kind of step out almost of like the busyness and just take a breath and just watch it with a really neutral vision, because we are so kind of tuned to our opinions and what's happening and the drama of it. But when we can just step back, we get to actually feel, okay, it's not actually what I thought's going on. And we allow ourselves to really hear ourselves rather than get pulled into the busyness all the time.
I would say you can never get it wrong.
Mm.
You can never get it wrong. We are all experiencing our creation. There's no mistakes. Things might feel uncomfortable at times, but just breathe and know it's changing. There's another moment arriving right now. Just breathe and just know everything's always working out for us. Everything is always working out for us and for everybody else as well.
Even though it doesn't look like it sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's helping us. We're helping everyone else. Like it's this beautiful expansion, flowering of consciousness. This is what we're living in. So you're never going to get it wrong. It's all perfect. Just keep breathing, keep moving, keep loving yourself especially, and just know it's all working out for me.
Jeez. Well said. No, I think that's that is really what our audience needs to hear, myself included. So just to the both of you from, I guess for this segment, if you could just let our audience know the best way to connect with you right now.
So our website is www.purelovefrequency.com. And our email is love@purelovefrequency.com. And we'd love to hear from you.
Wow. Well, Olivier and Megan, it has been such a pleasure.
Yeah, a real joy. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yes, to be in your presence and to hear your story. And I know that it'll really inspire the people in our audience.
Bless you. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. You know, your light shines very brightly. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
If you haven't heard it yet today, I appreciate you. The soul in me honors the soul in you. If you'd like to see more episodes like this, please subscribe or click here. And friends, if this spoke to you, leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you.